This is a video from the Exam 3 review in my linear algebra. Let's take a look at 14. Let V be an inner product space. Prove that if W is orthogonal to each of the vectors u1, u2 through un, then W is orthogonal to every vector in the span of u1, u2 through un. Given that W is orthogonal to each of the vectors u1, u2 through un, and what we're going to do is we want to let V belong to the span of u1, u2 through un. And we want to show that the inner product of W and V is 0. Since V belongs to the span of u1, u2 through un, there exists scalars c1, c2 through cn such that V is equal to c1 u1 plus c2 u2 plus all the way through until cn un. So in other words, V can be written as a linear combination of u1, u2 through un. That's what that means. Now, let's take a look at the inner product of W and V. This is the inner product of W and c1 u1 plus c2 u2 plus all the way through until cn un. But we can break that apart. So this is equal to the inner product of W and c1 u1 plus the inner product of W and c2 u2 plus all the way through until the inner product of W and cn un. And so one question I have is, why is that step true? And I'll leave that for you guys. But this is equal to C1 times the inner product of W and U1 plus C2 times the inner product of W and U2 plus ... plus Cn times the inner product of W and Un. But remember, W is orthogonal to U1, W is orthogonal to U2 all the way through, and then we can also say W is orthogonal to Un. So this is equal to C1 times 0 plus C2 times 0 plus ... plus Cn times 0. Because remember, for I equal 1, 2, 3, all the way through till n, the inner product of W and U sub I is 0. It's given. Okay, that's where I'm getting this. But this is equal to 0 plus 0 plus ... plus 0. But that's 0. And that tells me W is orthogonal to V. In other words, if I take the inner product of W and V, I get 0. And so, therefore, W is orthogonal. So let me write orthogonal to every vector in the span of U1, U2, all the way through until UN. And that's how we do problem number, this is number 14. Okay, thank you.